What's going on, my babies? Welcome back to another episode of the Spiritual Word. As always, I apologize for any noises in the background in advance and anything of that nature. And also, before I start these, I like to start these off with a disclaimer by stating that these are for entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research to come to your own conclusions, to have your answers, to make your own decisions. And I believe in your ability to do so and to be your own person. And as always, I apologize for any noises in the background in advance and anything of that nature. I don't know if I said that twice. I might have said that twice. But sorry if you could hear my fan. You know, that's hot. I'm recording a bunch of episodes on the same day just because my next week's schedule for work is like crazy. So I figured I'd record a lot of these, maybe do a whole week's worth of stuff so that when I'm not working, I can actually fucking sleep. Today's one of my few days off. One of two, because if you don't have at least 2 days off, that's illegal, at least where I live. So, anyways, in today's episode, we're going to talk about having self-worth, okay? Okay. So, a lot of the times we have self-worth issues or we're insecure for the simple fact that, like, we have trauma or, like, childhood wounds or just emotional or psychological. Usually they're both that go hand in hand and create this experience of I am not good enough, when in fact you are more than enough by just breathing and existing. A lot of people don't believe that to be true because society and the things that society ingrains in you. Like, if you're not bringing value to the world, what are you doing? If you're not doing something of value, right, what are you doing? So self-worth is not about bringing value to people, places, ideas, things, nothing but yourself. And even then, that value depends on what you want out of life, you know? Like, a lot of people, they really enjoy doing nothing. Like, I am one of those people who enjoys doing nothing. Like, if I could do nothing and get paid to do nothing, that would be very wonderful. But then again, I'd probably get bored after a while, you know what I mean? So, you like to do something, regardless of what that thing is. It doesn't have to bring value to anybody. It doesn't have to do anything. You don't have to fucking change the world. And 2:22, as I look at my clock, you don't have to change the world, okay? To be enough, my little baby. And, you know, you don't have to provide anybody with any type of value for you to be a value, for you to be an asset in this world. You don't have to bring people love. You don't have to bring people guidance. You don't have to bring people anything. You don't have to provide for anybody but your damn self. And even then, you don't have to provide for yourself if you don't want to. Right? You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. So recognize first and foremost that you are enough. You are enough by existing. And if no one has told you that you are enough, I'm letting you know right now that you are enough. For me. For you. And if you still don't feel enough for yourself, maybe you look at the beliefs that you have ingrained about your worth. Why don't you feel worthy? What did somebody do to you? What did you do to you? What did you do to yourself to make yourself not feel worthy? And as I looked at the clock, again, it was 3:33. Try not to look at the clock because all I see is a fucking angel numbers and I'm sick of it. So, you are worthy of existence because you are worth living. And you don't have to prove that you're worth living. You just exist. You are proof that you are worth it. Because you know how an egg gets fertilized? You are 1 in a million, 1 in a trillion. There could have been so many other versions of a person, but you made it. You know, and I don't think people really recognize that. Like, you are 1 in, like, a lot. I don't know what the exact number is because I've never looked at the number. But I don't need to tell you the number to let you know that you're worth it and that you're here. Because you're a fucking fighter. And yeah, shit gets tough. Shit does get hard. But you're strong enough to handle them. Like, you are strong enough to handle them. And when you tell yourself I'm weak, you are strong enough to admit to yourself that you're weak. You are strong enough to recognize when you need help A lot of people, they have a hard time when it comes to, you know, actually taking care of themselves and loving themselves because it's not a natural reaction, which could also be your natural reaction, which is like something that I see in a lot of people. But I don't think that a lot of people give themselves credit when they know that they are worth it, but they can't admit it to themselves. And the reason that they usually can't admit it is because of trauma and shit. Like, I get it. But you're strong enough to recognize that it's trauma. You know what I mean? Like, you are enough. It's just that you've been told that you're not for so long that you're like, oh, that's right. You've been repeated the same things, been hurt enough times to recognize, oh, maybe they're right. Right? But that's not the truth. And the truth is that you're sitting right here, listening to this shit or watching this shit because you know your worth and because you had enough self-worth to click. Even if you feel like I am the weakest person here, I cry over the dumbest shit, blah blah blah, whoop-de-doo. I think that it takes a very strong person to cry. It takes a very strong person to not know their own worth because they see so much in other people. Because they see so much beauty in other people. They see so much potential in other people. And it takes beauty to recognize beauty. It takes worth to recognize other people's worth. I know a lot of people that compare themselves to other people because they're like, wow, if I was that person, like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Like, they're so amazing. And they just like are in awe of these people. But the reason that you or anybody experiences awe in another person is because you have those qualities. You see those qualities. And those qualities are real to you, right? That's what you look for. And you don't have to look for something if it's in you. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, they'll look at another person and be like, wow, that person's amazing and talented and worthy, but I'm not. But if you're looking at somebody and saying, I see so much about you that's worthy, it's because you see so much in that person because you are beautiful enough to see that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain this shit. This is one of the things I have a hard time explaining when it comes to, like, self-worth. You see other people's worth because your worth is pointing that out. Because it's like, that's what that looks like, but you also do those things. But you do those things uniquely in your sense. Like, for example, when I look at people in music, I'm like, wow, I wish I could sing. And, you know, I make poetry and I make art and I make raps and I'm cringy and I make raps and I make songs and I make music and I make this shit. So, like, the same things I'm in awe about them are things that I admire in myself. You know what I mean? So, like, their worth and their beauty is coming from the fact that I recognize that it's beauty because I love that. That's beautiful to me. Just like how I have those same qualities because I love those things. And it's like that, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, almost like if you admire the people that you're a mother to because you have so much unconditional love to give to everybody. But that unconditional love is from you because you are beautiful, because you are worthy, because you deserve the world and more. Because you're so fucking perfect and worth it. And if you couldn't see beauty in other people, you wouldn't have that. I think a lot of people, they mistake the fact that, like, they're constantly comparing themselves to other people and, like, being mad or sad or whatever the fuck it is. Because you possess qualities just like they do. Like, obviously it's not going to be the same because everybody's like individuals and you have different personalities and different types and, you know, like, all these different things, different archetypes and shit like that. But I really think that it takes a beautiful person to recognize another beautiful person. And you don't even have to recognize the beauty in yourself to know that it's there. I think a lot of people who struggle with self-worth struggle with self-worth because they never feed it into themselves. They always feed it into everybody else, except for themselves, which is neither here nor there. I'm not here to tell you don't do that shit anymore because it's not helping you, but like, I'm also not here to tell you to never do that to yourself. You know, like, you are worthy, but you have to also ingrain that in yourself. You are worthy because you are you, and there's only one of you. There's only one of a kind. That is you. And you are priceless. So, like, recognize that in yourself and really ingrain that in your bones. Feel that in your core and let that be your truth because it is truth. There's only one of you. Nothing could be more beautiful than one piece of art. Nothing could be more valuable than that one piece of art. I see art going for billions on trillions, and people will put like minimal effort, like they'll spill a cup on a piece of canvas, sell that shit for millions, and yeah, here you are crying because you're like, I'm not good enough. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? You know, not saying you, but like people in general. I'm like, what? That doesn't even make sense. I literally see rich people pay billions and billions of dollars for like painting that my cat could have made. You know what I mean? So like, and you're over here tripping because people don't love you. We bullshit. That's bullshit. Anyways, I'm not here to yell at you. I'm in this here. Thanks for tuning in and tapping in. As always, my babies, I love you and I appreciate you for being here. And I hope that this was at least funny in any way, shape, and form. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.